Welcome back to the cryptoworld channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now Bitcoin is rejecting from this critical resistance and now flashing a new signal on the larger time frames that we need to pay attention to, while the price is still playing out this short-term bearish signal, while Solana is also now playing out the same short-term bearish signal. So I'll be talking about all of that and more later in the video, so definitely watch to the end. First of all, taking a look at the weekly Bitcoin chart, taking a look at the Bollinger Bands indicator and the Bollinger Bands width indicator, which is basically squeezing together right now, the Bollinger Bands that is, with the Bollinger Bands width indicator sitting at this very low level. And so this is of course telling us that we've had a period of basically sideways price action, relatively low volatility compared to what we've seen previously in this bull market. And over the last 1 year, we've only seen one other time where the Bollinger Bands have squeezed this much on the weekly time frame. And over the last 2 years, we've only seen two other examples where we've seen a squeeze anywhere near where we're seeing at the moment in the Bollinger Bands indicator and the Bollinger Bands width indicator. And in case you're new to this channel, this is basically telling us that sometime soon, a major volatile move is likely coming in the price of Bitcoin. For example, this volatile move that followed this squeeze that we saw back near the end of 2022, around October, November 2022, we actually saw a flash crash in the price of Bitcoin back then, which took the price of Bitcoin down around 20 to 30% within around 1 week. And then if we're taking a look at this next example, we did see a volatile move initially in the price of Bitcoin of a flash crash of around 15% to the downside within about 1 week. But with that being said, because it was not necessarily a massive move compared to what we saw previously, we did end up seeing the Bollinger Bands stay basically squeezed even after that volatile move in this second example, with the Bollinger Bands width indicator still sitting below 30. And so ultimately, there was still another major volatile move building in the price of Bitcoin, and that came roughly around a month later in the form of a bullish move right here, where we saw a massive pump to the upside. Just measuring out that move, we're talking about around a 60% gain in a little over 1 month. And so in other words, this squeeze in the Bollinger Bands indicator right now and the drop to the downside in the Bollinger Bands width indicator is telling us that sometime soon in the coming weeks or months, we're likely going to see at least a 15 to 20% move, possibly a move much larger than that. And whether it's a bullish move or a bearish move, of course, we can make money in either direction from any volatility using long positions or short positions, for example. And in order to determine the direction of that volatile move, we need to pay attention to other Bitcoin charts, which I'll talk about in these videos and basically every other video where I'm talking about what is the most likely scenario. But basically, this chart right here is essentially just revealing a massive volatile move is currently building in the price of Bitcoin. That is what this chart is showing. And if we're taking a look at the 3-day Bitcoin chart, as of right now, the price of Bitcoin is still forming this massive descending broadening wedge pattern, which if we confirm a breakout above around $72,000 with at least a 3-day candle close confirming above $72,000, then in that case, that will set up a bullish price target for this pattern at around $92,000. And now there were some people that got confused a couple of days ago. I said 2 days ago here on the channel, I talked about this pattern right here with a bullish price target at 92,000. And there were some people confused, well, why did we see this short-term dump if I was calling for 92,000? But it's important to understand you should watch my videos from start to finish, because obviously over the last couple of days, I did not say the price of Bitcoin is definitely going to go from here to 92K. I said we have a 92K price target if we actually confirm a breakout above this resistance. And if we're taking a look at the price of Bitcoin right now, we have not actually confirmed a breakout above this resistance, so we have no 92K price target. That is only if we confirm a breakout above this resistance. And I did obviously explain that over the last couple of days in these videos anyway, but I've just made it extra clear in this video for anyone that might have been confused, which I pretty much clearly explained over the last couple of days anyway. And so with that being said, this is a pattern that is forming right now, so it's something to pay attention to, but nothing to really act on considering it has not yet confirmed a breakout. breakout above resistance or below support, which by the way, this support line is sitting at around 54,500 approximately. And with that being said, taking a look at this daily Bitcoin chart, and right now the DXY is still basically drifting to the upside. We're not necessarily seeing a massive bullish movement or bullish trend reversal in the DXY. So this is not really enough to basically confirm a bearish trend reversal in the price of Bitcoin. But with that being said, while this DXY is at least drifting to the upside as we've seen over the last couple of days, this is a bit of a short-term warning signal, a bit of a short-term bearish signal for the price of Bitcoin. Because in case you're new to this channel, as you can see here, usually when the DXY is trending in the bullish direction, that is almost always bearish for the price of Bitcoin, and vice versa. When the DXY is trending in the bearish direction, that is usually almost always bullish for the price of Bitcoin. And with that being said, taking a look at this daily Bitcoin chart, and right now the price of Bitcoin is still clearly rejecting from this critical area of resistance sitting in between around 67,000 to 68.3k approximately, based on previous support and resistance, and also based on the volume profile indicator showing a massive amount of traded volume acting as resistance right in that price range. And so at least for now, that is simply the resistance to pay attention to, which I've been saying over the last couple of weeks now on the channel. And now if we confirm a breakout above around 68.3k with candle closes above that level and ideally flipping that level into new support, then in that case, the next major area of resistance is starting at around 72,000 and going up towards around 74,000. And remember, resistance is where the price is most likely going to struggle at. But if we end up seeing a bit more of a rejection from this area of resistance, like what we saw close to a week ago, then in that case, we do have major support sitting in between around 63 to 64,000, which we also saw close to a week ago, around half a week to 1 week ago. We saw a bounce from that area after seeing a rejection from this area of resistance. But as of right now, we're still technically forming higher lows and higher highs, which is a bullish trend. So with that being said, in terms of the trend and momentum, I am still bullish right now on the price of Bitcoin on the daily time frame, because we've not actually confirmed a bearish trend reversal signal. But as I always say, during a bullish trend, we can see some short-term pullbacks from time to time, or sideways consolidations, basically choppy sideways price action from time to time during a bullish trend, just like how during a bearish trend, we can see some bounces back to the upside here and there during a bearish trend. And so as of right now, the price of Bitcoin is simply just struggling around resistance during a bullish trend unless we confirm otherwise. But for now, that is the situation. And one of the reasons why we're also seeing that bit of a short-term pullback here, a bit of short-term bearish price action, is not only due to this resistance, but also due to the 8-hour time frame revealing a bearish divergence, which I also said in my last video at some slightly higher prices. I actually said we have this new bearish divergence, so we should be expecting over the next couple of days or so either short-term bearish price action or at the very least neutral price action, basically not much bullish price action just for the next couple of days, just in the short term. And over the last 1 day, that's pretty much exactly what we've seen as expected. And I continue to expect this bearish divergence to keep playing out at least over the next 1 to 2 days, possibly longer, but at least over the next 1 to 2 days or so. But a bearish divergence by itself is not necessarily enough to confirm a bearish trend reversal. So it is possible we could play out this bearish divergence over the next couple of days and then potentially continue the bullish trend later on. Because we did actually see that back here in the price of Bitcoin. We had this bearish divergence between the price and the RSI, which resulted in a short-term pullback over the next few days in the price of Bitcoin. And then we eventually set a new higher high in place a couple of days later, essentially continuing the short-term bullish trend. And so right now, based on all of this information on all of these charts right here, this is basically telling us that at least for now, we're still within a short-term bullish trend because we have not confirmed a bearish trend reversal signal. But with that being said, in the imminent short term, we're still struggling around resistance and we're playing out this bearish divergence. So we're taking a bit of a break, just a cool off during the bullish trend. And if you want to trade these moves in the price of Bitcoin or any other crypto, personally, I take just about all of my trades over on Bybit. So I'll make sure to leave a link to Bybit down below this video in the description and in the pinned comment. And if you use that link down below this video to make a Bybit account and deposit on that account, then you can get up to a $30,000 deposit bonus, but only if you use that link down below this video. And also, if you use that link, it'll take you to this page right here, which is a massive trading competition happening right now over on Bybit for a limited time. And by the way, this is up to 3 million USDT in prize pool. And if we're looking at how this competition is set up, basically we have the profit and loss competition, the P&L, or essentially the competition to make the most money. And so essentially, if you don't have a lot of money to trade with, but you could still get some great P&L, great percentage returns, then you could go in this competition and still potentially win some decent prize money. Or if you're trading with larger amounts and you don't necessarily get the highest percentage returns, but you can make a lot of USDT, a lot of money, then you could trade in this competition right here to also make a lot of prize money. And this trading competition, by the way, uses sub accounts. So basically you would create a sub account on your Bybit account and then transfer, say, $100 to that sub account at least in order to trade in this competition. So if you're going to be trading crypto anyway, you might as well check this out. Once again, first link down below this video. And I will also leave a link to this page right here, second link down below this video, which is a massive lucky draw happening right now over on Bybit, where you could potentially win up to $100,000 just by trading crypto using the link down below this video. And so if you're going to be trading crypto anyway, you might as well check this out or this trading competition in the description down below or in the pinned comment. But for whatever reason, if you cannot access Bybit or if you cannot KYC on Bybit, there is also Bitflex, which is another crypto exchange similar to Bybit, but you don't need KYC for Bitflex. And so I'll also make sure to leave a link to Bitflex down below this video as an alternative crypto exchange. And with that being said, taking a quick look at the Bitcoin liquidation heat map, and over the last one day, we've taken out more liquidity just to the downside here, which was sitting at roughly around 65,500. And we still have more liquidity to the downside at around 65,000 and a major level of liquidity at around 63,500 approximately. And as for upside liquidity, we don't really have a lot of liquidity just to the upside here until we get all the way back up towards around $70,000, more specifically in between around 70.2K to 70.7K. And so right now, the majority of the liquidity is actually sitting at that area right there at around 70,500. We have about $1 billion worth of liquidity sitting right at that level. So that is a level to pay attention to. But with that being said, we still have a little bit of liquidity to the downside here that's also worth paying attention to. And so those are the areas of interest on this chart right here. But remember, we still have the bearish divergence active on this chart as the price is still struggling around resistance in the imminent short term during the bullish trend. But with that being said, taking a look at Ethereum on the daily time frame, and right now the price of ETH is still perfectly playing out a lot of choppy sideways price action as expected, because obviously I've been talking about this for a while now on the channel. The price of ETH is basically looking neutral in terms of the trend and momentum. We don't really have a bullish or bearish trend. We're just chopping around sideways in a massive sideways price range. And so as for support and resistance, we have a lot of support in this price range sitting in between around 3150 to 3250. And we have more support in this price range sitting in between 2.8K to 2950. And as for resistance, we have resistance in between around 3550 to 3650 and more resistance in between around 3.9K to 4.1K. And obviously, if you're simply just holding Ethereum, this is very boring price action, just seeing the price chop around sideways. But for the traders out there, this is a gold mine. You can make a lot of easy profits in choppy sideways price action just like this. And if you want to know how to do that, then stick around to the end of this video to find out more. But with that being said, taking a look at the shorter term, looking at the 6-hour time frame, and right now the price of ETH is still struggling around this level of resistance in the short term at around 3370 to 3380. So that's the resistance to pay attention to, where we've actually seen multiple perfect rejections from over the last couple of days. And if we were to see a confirmed breakout back above around 3380 with candle closes above that level and ideally flipping that level into new support again, then in that case, the next short-term resistance is starting close to 3,500 as I just mentioned earlier. And as for short-term supports, based on this chart right here, we do have a lot of support at around 3160 to 3170, and we have some more short-term support at around 3250. And with that being said, taking a look at the price of Solana on the daily time frame, and over the last couple of days, we've seen another perfect rejection from this exact area of resistance that I've already been warning about for a long time now on the channel, sitting in between around 183 to 187. And we've actually just rejected back down to this area of support where we've seen pretty much another perfect bounce from this exact area of support that I've also been talking about here on the channel, in between 170 to 175. And so those are still the support and resistance areas to pay attention to on the price chart on the daily time frame. And as for other levels of support and resistance, in case we see a breakout here with confirmed candle closes above 187, then in that case, that will set up a price target, or basically the next resistance to the upside, at around $200 to $210. And for support below 170, we do have a lot of support at around 160. And despite this short-term pullback right here, the rejection from this resistance, we're technically still within a bullish trend when we're looking at the trend and momentum on the daily time frame, because at least for now, we have not yet broken the bullish price structure, which is higher lows and higher highs. And now, if we start seeing a confirmed break back below this area of support, so if we start seeing daily candle closes back below 170, then in that case, we could start talking about a new short-term bearish trend. But for now, that has not happened. So technically speaking, the trend is still bullish. We're simply just taking a bit of a short-term cool-off as the price is struggling around key resistance. And if we're taking a look at the 12-hour time frame, the price of Solana has just confirmed a new bearish divergence on this chart right here, with new higher highs confirmed in the price in the candle closes and new lower highs confirmed in the 12-hour Solana RSI. And so just like any bearish divergence, this most commonly plays out in the form of either choppy sideways price action or a short-term pullback. So that is what we should be expecting just in the imminent short term here, as in potentially over the next few days. And so essentially this is telling us we're due to see a bit of a break, just a short-term cool-off from the bullish trend. But the bearish divergence by itself is not necessarily enough to confirm a bearish trend reversal. And so just for example, a likely scenario based on this bullish trend, but this bearish divergence also playing out, is, for example, some choppy sideways price action or short-term pullback, something like this, for example, over the next couple of days, and then finding support around this price range and then potentially continuing the bullish trend later on. And so once again, when it comes to the trend and momentum, I'm still very bullish, but just for the next couple of days, I don't necessarily expect a significant amount of bullish price action. And once again, if you want to trade these moves in the price of any crypto, check out those links down below this video to claim those extra bonuses. And if you want to actually know how to trade crypto, no matter if the price is bullish, bearish, or chopping around sideways, then make sure to watch these videos popping up right here on your screen. The video in the top left shows you how you can profit from bullish or bearish price action using long positions or short positions, and the video in the bottom left shows you how you can easily profit from choppy sideways price action. But anyway, that is everything that I have to say for today. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.